Being close doesn't always mean being connected. True distance isn't measured in miles, it's measured in silence. In a quiet countryside town nestled among the rolling hills of northern England, two boys were born within hours of each other, Ethan and Liam. From the very beginning, it was as if fate had decided their lives would run side by side. They built forts in the woods together, played football in the rain, and spent endless summer evenings sharing dreams they barely understood. They sat at the same desk in school, backed each other up in every classroom debate, and made a pact under the old willow tree that nothing would ever separate them. Childhood was simple: mud-stained knees, toast with jam, and the joy of just being together. They didn't need fancy words, a look or a laugh was enough. But childhood doesn't last forever. Time, ever so quietly, began to pull them apart. After high school, Ethan moved to London to study business. The city called to him with its fast pace, bright lights, and endless possibilities. Liam stayed back in the village, helping his father run the family carpentry shop. He preferred the sound of birds to traffic, and the rhythm of tools over the buzz of ambition. At first, they kept in touch. Phone calls, texts, the occasional video chat. But as months passed, the messages became fewer. Ethan's new life filled quickly, with deadlines, networking events, and people who talked of startups and strategies. He didn't mean to drift, but he did. When he did return to the village, it was brief, polite, and distant. The long conversations were replaced by small talk. The old willow tree stood quietly, waiting, as if mourning something lost. Liam noticed the change. He never said a word about it, though. He'd pour 2 cups of tea when Ethan visited, even if the second cup went cold. He would ask how London was, and Ethan would reply with polished words but empty eyes. Liam listened more than he spoke, and after Ethan left each time, he would walk by the river and remember the boy who once dreamed with him under the stars. Then life turned. Ethan built a successful company. He was interviewed on podcasts, invited to conferences, applauded on social media. But behind the applause was exhaustion. Deals went wrong. A partner betrayed him. Debts piled up. Friends disappeared. His apartment in the city felt colder than ever. And one night, sitting alone with a whiskey glass in hand, Ethan scrolled through his phone, not for business, but for comfort. He came across an old photo, 2 muddy kids with wide grins, standing proudly by a crooked treehouse. His thumb hovered, then moved. He dialed. But he hesitated. It had been so long. That same week, back in the village, Liam's father passed away. The loss was heavy, and the silence heavier. Liam stood in the workshop alone, running his hands over the tools they once shared. He didn't cry. He just paused. Ethan didn't call that week. Or the week after. But then, one misty morning, a stranger walked up the old path to the workshop. Ethan. He looked tired, older, unsure. Liam turned slowly and met his gaze. "I should have been here," Ethan said, voice barely a whisper. "You weren't," Liam replied. Ethan nodded. "I don't have an excuse. Just a lot of regrets." There was a long silence. The kind of silence that only 2 hearts with shared history can understand. Liam finally broke it. "Still got your tools?" Ethan blinked. "What?" "The ones we used for the treehouse," Liam said, his voice softer now. "They're in the back. Haven't touched them since you left." "I'd like to," Ethan replied. "Work with you again, I mean. Start over?" Liam handed him a pair of gloves. "Let's see if you remember how to sand a board without ruining it." And so, they did. No grand speeches, no dramatic apologies. Just sawdust, wood, tea, and time. Bit by bit, they rebuilt not just old projects, but the bridge between them. Moral: being close isn't about geography. It's about making space for someone in your heart, even when life pulls you in different directions. Don't wait for the perfect moment to reach out. Sometimes the only thing standing between two people is pride. And pride has never built a bridge. But kindness, patience, and effort, they always do.